I'm Nick Seco from HomeRight Windows and Doors, and we're located in Waynesboro, Pennsylvania. So we do vinyl replacement windows, we do steel and fiberglass entry doors, we do aluminum storm doors, and we do sliding patio doors, all made by Provia. The windows are a vinyl replacement window, and it could be anything from double hungs to casements to bay and bow windows and everything in between. So when somebody calls in the office and needs an estimate, they get Roxanne on the phone typically, and she would schedule an appointment for me to come out and take some measurements, provide some literature, go through what options we have, and then I would follow up within about 24 to 48 hours with an estimate with all the details of the products as well as the installed price. I find that we're typically much more affordable than the companies that you see advertising on TV or in a lot of other places. If they're spending a lot of advertising dollars, obviously they're passing those costs on to their consumers. You could go to our website at homerightwaynesboro.com, or you could call us at 717-749-4874.
Local and live, covering Franklin and Washington counties, it's Let's Talk TriState.
Welcome to Let's Talk TriState, all powered by HomeRight Windows and Doors in Waynesboro, the right choice, online, homerightwaynesboro.com. Joining us on Ask the Expert today, we should call it Ask the Experts, we have two of our friends from Middletown Valley Bank. We have the Vice President of Commercial Relationship Manager, that's Jim Fahey, and Sam Buhrman, Senior Vice President, Commercial Market Leader. Sam, Jim, thanks so much for joining us today.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
So we are very excited to have friends from Middletown Valley Bank. Every time folks from your company come in, it's always a great time. You're very community-centered, very one-on-one with the customer, the consumer, and not just banking, but just really diving into the community. But as we did last time, and I'm excited about this, is typically Middletown Valley Bank, BJ will send folks from different charities and organizations that you support. But I love when he actually sends some of the staff members who can speak to the services and products that Middletown Valley Bank has to offer. So Jim, let's start with this. What is the biggest benefit of banking with community-focused efforts like Middletown Valley Bank?
Yes. I mean, for us, it's really about relationships. Mm-hmm. I mean, we go over and above and beyond to work with our customers, believing to get to know them, help with the solutions of their banking questions and situations. Mm-hmm. We really sit down with them, review the options for CDs, for home equities, all types of personal banking and also commercial banking. And really, when you go to one of our branches, you're going to be really warm welcomed. Mm-hmm. They'll know your name. Yep. That's the big difference compared to like some of the bigger institutions. Yeah. You just will have a relationship. You have a team of people working for you, and will know who you are.
I think that also means something when you're an employee of Middletown Valley Bank. The reason that you can be that personal, I think, or part of it, is because your supervisors are local. The person who can make the final decision for your company is local. You are not beholden to a company that's in New York State, or offices across the country. So everything with Middletown Valley Bank is local centered. I think that does make a difference.
It does, and that's what's is really neat, because we can sit down with the customer, work through solutions, and then give them an answer pretty much, if not on the spot, within 2 hours.
Absolutely.
Makes it nice.
Yeah. So Sam, let's talk specifically about business customers. Yeah. Now, how does Middletown Valley Bank support small and mid-sized businesses in our area?
Yeah, I think you actually nailed a big piece of that, which is all of our leadership for the bank live and work in this area, mm-hmm. in the markets that we're working in, we're serving, and I think that's huge in the sense that they know not only our markets, but know a lot of our customers as well. So we have the support there. But then the biggest piece is empowering the employees. So whether it's myself and Jim, when we're meeting with a commercial customer, to talk about what their needs are, whether it's actual just deposit banking needs or lending needs. But it goes all the way down to our tellers in the branch. If a commercial customer comes in, they have a problem, the tellers are empowered to make a decision. Yeah. So they aren't waiting for something to come back, or they have to go to somebody else to solve a problem for a customer.
That's great. Now, are there unique tools to Middletown Valley Bank that you can use for businesses?
I would say the most unique tool is really what we just talked about, is the ability to make those decisions and the ability to empower employees to help customers. You could pull out a gadget, here and there and have something fancy to show somebody, a business customer online, but what it comes down to is when they need us, we're there for them.
Well, and you figure for a commercial business, they need to make payroll. If they have an issue, it's not just them that can be affected. It can be their entire, employee roster that has an issue. And it's good to know that when you walk into Middletown Valley Bank, like we've just been saying for the last few minutes here, that decision, no matter how far up it goes, it will end locally.
Correct.
And
Yep.
you can get that answer. And you said you empower the tellers to make those decisions. And that's not something that you would ever consider hearing in a major, a nationwide bank or a chain, so to speak.
Yeah, and like you said with the payroll aspect, and you have those things where something comes up for a customer, maybe they didn't get their payroll out when they were supposed to, and it runs through us as an organization. They have the person, they can pick up the phone, they can call, and they know that, and then our employee knows that they can call someone in the back office who they know personally to get that taken care of.
Right.
We're not sitting, the customer's not sitting on hold, we're not sitting on hold internally. We have the people and we have the access to make those decisions.
I love that, and it does make a difference. Now, Sam, back to you. How does Middletown Valley Bank stay competitive with those larger banks? Now, we're talking in terms of tech, innovation, but you still want to deliver that exceptional personal service.
So when it comes to that, right, that's kind of the piece that people see a lot, is they say, okay, well, if it's a community bank, I'm not going to have all the services I would have at a large bank. And there are times where maybe we don't have the fanciest gadgets out there on the online banking, but we haven't sat in front of a customer that they have there's a solution we can't meet for them. So we have partners throughout our organization that are able to provide those services, whether it's us internally or it's a partner externally that we've met and we've connected with to say this partner does it, believes in it, executes in the way that Middletown Valley does, so that we can feel comfortable providing those solutions.
Aligning in mission and values, I think is very important. Yep. Jim, one of the hot topics in banking today is fraud protection. Now that doesn't just go on the consumer level. That can go to the commercial level as well. So what are some important steps that our business owners, managers, what can they do to help protect themselves?
Yes, it is very rampant nowadays. But on the consumer side, one of the biggest things is just look at your account. Pretty much every day. And if you don't see a transaction that's yours or it's questionable, either call, like you would call us, or stop in one of our branches, and that's what we will do, the deep dive. We'll catch it, we'll find it, and then we'll eliminate it. To the point that we'll set up new bank accounts, we'll give you the new debit cards, things like that. Back to our tellers, they do a great job, because now what they're doing is counterfeiting checks, and so then they'll come into the bank to try to cash that check off of a customer's account or even a non-customer, and then our crew does a great job catching that check, so they don't give that bad person or the criminal the cash.
Right.
On the commercial side, we have positive pay. It's another safeguard that then every check you write will be cashed to that person and for the amount. So when the counterfeit portion is, they'll take that check out of a mailbox or the post office or wherever they get the check, and then they'll whitewash it or make a new check and then try to have put somebody's name and then try to do a direct deposit.
Okay.
And then we catch those as well most times, and but it's something that you have to be serious and really protect yourself.
Well, I think as you were describing that, something that stood out to me is, again, we go back to, and nobody directed me to do this, this is just, if I'm a customer, is we go back to the local aspect of things. Mm-hmm. If fraud is happening in a major corporation bank, well, their fraud department could be 2,000 miles away.
Right.
Whereas the fraud department for Middletown Valley Bank is as local as your teller is. And that is, if I'm going through that situation, those fraud situations and having identity stolen is so stressful.
Yes.
And sadly, I had it happen to me last year, and thankfully it didn't go too far, and obviously now safeguards are in place even before it happens to where you're not on the line for anything. But it's just knowing that, oh my goodness, somebody did this to me.
Right.
And being able to talk to someone who is local and says, we'll get this settled,
Right.
and we'll get it settled here. I don't have to call 8 people. I don't have to go 10 rungs up the ladder.
Correct.
Right here.
You're not calling an 800 number.
Right.
You're calling somebody that you know. We know you. I mean, and you're right there, and we deal with it.
Have you ever seen? I don't mean to interrupt you, but
that's okay.
I think this is an example that we haven't touched on before when I've had Middletown Valley Bank here. Sometimes when the employees of the larger banks need to get an answer, it almost seems like they call customer service themselves.
Correct.
It's
Right.
their bank.
Right.
They work for the bank,
Right.
and they have to go through the process like we would if we're sitting at home.
Correct.
And that is something that baffles me. And it's like they don't even try to fake it.
Right.
You know?
No, exactly.
Yeah.
And they'll complain about it too. They'll say, Sam, I'm sure you know, you
They'll
probably
get put on hold as well. or
Exactly.
whatever.
Oh well, this is the way it
Right,
goes.
right.
And it's like being on tech support for eons. It's ridiculous.
I've worked for larger institutions, and that is the case. I mean,
Yeah.
you might be on hold for 30 minutes internally
Yeah.
to get an answer, and it is frustrating to sit in a seat, have a customer in front of you, and not be able to answer their question or solve a problem for them is disheartening for an employee.
Sure.
And so for us, and you don't expect every employee isn't going to have every answer, right? We can't expect everyone to know everything. But they know who to call, and they know who does have that answer.
That's
right?
exactly exactly what I was going to say. Not that you deal with in the fraud department, but as an example, we're having a problem with fraud. Let me call Sam.
Yep.
Sam will take care of it. And they call Sam's extension, and what do you know? Lo and behold, Sam, who may be at a different branch, but he's only a couple miles away, we can get this situated. So
Absolutely.
that is all local and all wonderful. Jim, we're going to end with this question with you. Now, if someone's interested in learning more, getting started with Middletown Valley Bank, either on the consumer level or in the commercial level, what can they do?
I'd say first off, go stop in at one of our branches. You'll be surprised. And I hear it all the time. Like I've had customers say they used to just do nothing but the drive-through until they go to our branch or they start banking with us, because it's just warm and welcome. And somebody's going to say good morning,
Yes.
good afternoon. They're going to talk to you. They'll get to know your name. They'll explain all the benefits or what you're looking for, whether it's a CD, a checking account, business credit card, personal credit cards, whatnot. If you can't stop by a branch, we have, we're some in Franklin County, Washington County, and Frederick County, Maryland. Go to our website, www.mvbbank.com. So it's, mvbbank.com.
Yep, I got you. Now, I gave the example to piggyback off what you said, the personal experience. Last time someone from Middletown Valley Bank came in, I gave this example, but I think that it is part and parcel what we've been talking about today is when the branch in Waynesboro opened, Waynesboro's where I live, they asked if I'd like to come in just to tour the facility. So I walked in. None of the employees were aware that, and not that anybody special, but no one was, okay, Tiny's coming from, it wasn't any of that. It was just more very casual, walking through. And I'll never forget, gentleman walks up to the teller, and she, I won't say his name, we'll just go generic Mr. Johnson, but Mr. Johnson, and she said, how's the truck running?
Oh, right.
Now that to me, that little thing that I heard
Right.
was enough for me to recommend that. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Because it didn't, and I really paid attention. I wasn't eavesdropping, but I was paying attention because I thought, well, maybe she just knows him, outside of the bank, something like that. It wasn't that. He had, and then I was told then that he finances his truck through there. There was, some issue he was having with the previous bank, and it became this. It was a big problem somewhere else. It was no issue when it came to Middletown Valley Bank, and they remember that.
Sure.
And I thought to myself, that's exemplary right there. And I was told by the person giving me the tour that that's not unique.
Oh, no.
That happens
Very standard.
all the time. And it's like, you know what? It's not even, and they said, it's not something that we even push for them to do. But we want them to remember names if you can, but they just, our staff just has that community in them, and it just comes out. I thought that is phenomenal.
Yeah, we call that relationship banking, and that's our theme and what we strive for.
Yeah, you hire the right people and you empower them to do what they need to do.
Yeah.
Yep, empower your people to make decisions, support them when they do, and learn from your mistakes. And if you can do all that, then you'll be successful for sure. Yeah. Well, Sam, Jim, thank you so much for joining us today on Let's Talk TriState. We appreciate it. It's been very informative, and I encourage everyone, contact Middletown Valley Bank. If it be commercial or on the consumer level, they would love your business, and they will certainly earn your business, as they have for many folks around our area. And thank you so much for joining us on Let's Talk TriState.
Let's talk TriState. TriState.
If you'd like to be featured on an upcoming episode of Let's Talk Tri-State, call 717-597-9200 or email letstalk@921thegoat.com.